Joining us today on the Everyman podcast is a returning guest and a new guest, both in the Cosmic Canoes. Not only are they in the Cosmic Canoe with us, but they are the first and second, and I guess technically third, since one of them is the second as well, Everyman to be on the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, returning Rachael Preisinger and making her debut on the Everyman podcast, Molly Williams. How are you, ladies?
Hello.
Rachel, how's it going?
Hello.
Thanks for having me back.
Love this.
We're excited. We're excited to have you back. So catch us up. Rachel, where are you? What are you doing? What's new in your life? What's going on?
Oh my goodness, there's not much. Actually, I'd be lying. There's a ton going on. So I am working with a cool new company, One Team Partners.
I like your jumpsuit there. I see that little.
Right?
Oh yeah, One Team.
Little product placement. But when I had spoken with you guys before, I was working on behalf of the NFL PA specifically, but now I'm working across multiple players associations, even including leagues like rugby, which is really cool and unique. And we have a lot of cool verticals. We work across group licensing, marketing, investing, and then the content side. And so I'm over there now as the manager of the production department, which is pretty cool. Just crushing it and trying to find cool ways to, bring these athletes unique business opportunities. And even bigger than that, I'm having a baby.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Woo!
That's amazing.
Uncle DC.
This is a first. This is the first. I mean,
Yes,
now.
Sorry, I thought you were
even
going to
know.
say this is the first announcement someone's made that they're pregnant on the show. I'm like, probably.
First pregnant guest. First
Yes.
pregnant announcement on pod.
Guys,
I
haven't told my mom yet, so like.
We'll just send her this pod. Just be like, listen.
Maybe every man or
watch
woman.
the first 3 minutes and then turn off. It's just, you don't need any more from there.
But
Wow,
yes,
congratulations.
Cut it out.
Yeah, congrats. We're so stoked right now.
It's going to be a cool kid,
Yeah,
It's gonna be pretty
well,
well-rounded.
I mean,
It's gonna be a nerdy gamer. It's gonna love cars. It's gonna love sports. It's gonna fish. A little bit of everything.
by the
First
time
round draft pick is if it's a girl, and well, if it's a boy or a girl, who knows what things are going to be like by then, or she's just going to have my wallet, and that's pretty much what it'll be.
It's a tough game.
Yep.
Now we're gonna be definitely be coming in and out of that whole announcement process there because it's very exciting. So you can't just gloss over it. But this is still sort of the introduction. Now you brought, when I said to Daryl a couple weeks ago, I said, bro, we should get Rachel back on the show. It's been a while. I'd like to talk with her. And you're just one of those guests we had a great time with. And he goes, okay, yeah, you know what? Also, we got this other person, a friend of hers, they're tight at work, they're tight colleagues, and we all know each other, and she'll be great for the podcast. So, Rachel, who is this lovely friend of yours, Molly Williams, and how do you guys all connect? Catch us up here.
Oh my goodness. Well, I love to say she's my twin because one, we just vibe a lot.
Hitting the road.
You get an iPhone 8
All the way to Jersey.
And excuse me, we used to have the same exact hair color, that gorgeous bright red that she's always rocking. People used to get us confused, and I just wish I looked like Molly. But Molly and I, we met at NFL Films in the field operations department. It's kind of funny that I'm the first every woman and she's coming on as the second because I was the first intern in our department and she was the second. So we gotta have this trend going.
Better be careful, Molly.
Yeah, there
A lot
we
of
go.
trends going on here.
So Molly's gonna have a baby by the time she's
Yes! Put it in the atmosphere. Throw it out there.
Another first here on the Everyman podcast.
10 years.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be broke. I'm just gonna be broke. I know it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But I gotta tell you, Molly is one of the wisest, most genuine, down-to-earth, badass people I've ever met in my life. And she just kicks butt, man. She's been, conquering every opportunity she's ever had, and she's just the most enjoyable human to ever be around. So I'm excited she's on here with us.
So Molly, what do you do exactly at Films now? What's your operation there?
I actually just finished with Films, but I was a football operations coordinator for Films. So with them, I was the person who was helping crew all the camera guys and audio guys and support staff and their travel and everything for every game, preseason through postseason. and occasionally be sent to a few games to run because, I mean, I love football. So I'd help go out there, just run some cards, get to watch the game I love and all that. But I actually don't work for NFL Films anymore. I just started with another company. So I now work as an event operations specialist for sports media technology.
What? Look at all this merch.
Everybody's just dropping it right now. They're just dropping it. Ooh.
You be coming
I
out here
gotta
flashing merch
transition.
like that, you know.
Oh,
you're
yeah.
gonna have to start sending some beanies or something out. At least
We'll get you some.
Yeah,
We got you guys.
Do you guys go up to 5X? Because that's the only thing I can fit
You gotta
now.
get a custom printer for Daryl.
You're like a blanket. You guys got shirts in blanket size? That'd be good.
If I need to, I'll personally iron on a patch for you.
That's the every woman way there. So I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So tell us about your new role.
Oh yeah, so I'm an event operations specialist. So I transitioned from football to now golf, tennis, and what we call merging sports. So it's like CrossFit and marathons, things like that. So I get sent to different events for all of the support and services we do, which is mainly like if you watch NFL, the yellow field goal line. If you watch hockey, the puck tracking. If you watch golf, the ball tracker. All of that is our graphics and our systems, and we set all these TVs up and these like big jumbotron video boards, and behind the scenes just clicking little graphics and doing like scoring and tracking and radaring and all that fun jazz behind the scenes.
That's got to be very complicated.
That's cool.
I just started, and I'm still kind of, the only big events that I've done so far is like US Open tennis, and let me tell you, I didn't know anything about tennis, and I can tell you everything about tennis after watching them for 10 hours a day.
You know, tennis is one of those things where like I always was like, so dumb, you know, like no interest. And then I kind of like many things in my life, I took a closer inspection upon it, and I realized what's actually going on there, and the scoring, and like the psychology of like the course of a match, and like the history behind it, and why there's certain traditions and stuff. And I was hooked on it for like a hot 8 months, where I was just like, oh, this is the shit right here is tennis, you know. Here comes Rafa Nadal, he's the king of clay, you got to check this fucking guy out. It's like, and then like the reason I bring this up is I've never quite understood how like they use like a CGI, you know, graphic as like a rules thing, you know. Is that like what you guys do with tennis?
Kind of, yeah. We do any graphic you see on TV when you watch just about any graphic about. Like we have some people on there, some off, and I'm still kind of learning too, since I haven't been to a tennis event yet. Since, you know, COVID happened, I did that remote, but I was the same way as you with at least not knowing a single thing about tennis, or frankly not caring about tennis too much. But like I did
People are wild
radar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I didn't know anything about scoring, and they're like, it's fine, you'll learn. And they immediately put me on. They're like, all right, so you're just doing radar. So like the serve speeds and everything you see that pop up and all that was me clicking. Well, me and a big amount of people, not just me. Like I'd be put on a single match like Serena Williams, and it'd turn on the radar, and then I'm just front hand back in, and that's all I'm doing for that part. Yeah, it's just like the meticulous little things you don't think of behind the scenes. But I learned tennis very quick.
Are you in the truck on that?
Generally, you're like right, like, and you wouldn't think this either, but sorry, that was my dog. But you wouldn't think this either. Right under the stands, like right behind them, there's a screen that you don't see with all the cameras, and there's just people behind there with all the laptops, and these little radar guns going at it. Yeah, things also. I've seen tennis, never knew there was a hidden screen of
What's the fastest like serving backhand type speed that you've recorded? Like, does it get up there like 80, 90, or like what is it?
119.
No way.
For a serve,
yeah,
probably,
the men are
Yeah.
But it can go up to like 104,
dude,
108.
Andy Roddick was like 142 miles an hour at one point.
No.
Yeah, in the heat, dude. Like, there's actually, and
That's
this is where this comes in
NASCAR,
handy.
bro.
Because who would have thought I would have this? You know, here it comes.
Dude, you got a beautiful mind. You know how that thing works.
I am special. Australian Open is clay. There's different surfaces. There's a hard surface, there's clay, there's grass. He famously served the ball so hard it lodged into the clay because it was hot and the clay was malleable. And other people I think have done it since, but like he fucking wedged this thing in there, and he regularly was upwards of like between 120 140 miles an hour. It's bananas, and the drop off is really steep. Like there's people that are like, that's like the far end, and then everybody else is like 92 to 98. It's like it's kind of like fastball.
Insane.
It's like a fastball in major leagues. Like not everybody's able to throw it 106 miles an hour.
Well, do
Definitely
people get
not.
hit?
And it's usually men.
Yeah.
There's some people that get hit. I'm sure. Like,
Have you
there's
seen it? Like, what happens?
Oh, dude, it's got to hurt. I mean,
It had 142 miles an hour hits any. I don't care if it's
well, just
like,
a tennis ball thrown from your older brother is fucked up, you know?
Dude, if you hit me with a beach ball at 142 miles an hour, I think you're going to get concussed. I feel like
oh yeah,
you probably should.
it's a small and mighty ball for sure.
Oh my God.
And like even some of the women though, like Serena Williams and Naomi Osaka, they can get into the hundreds too. Like, and you got these little ball people that are catching the balls behind them to throw it back,
Whizzing.
and I just
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Ugh.
they get hit probably the most of anyone, if anybody.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. Concussion right around the corner anywhere
My
on that
goodness.
court. Yeah,
Absolutely.
tennis is intense, man. There's some serious gamesmanship. It's kind of like my new love for darts. It's one of those things.
Oh yeah.
Open Classic this weekend, by the way, on Friday on Twitch. You know I'll be there.
Cool.
It's exciting. So what have you guys been doing outside of, you know, professional world? Rachel, obviously you're over there creating life. You know, what we'll start with you, Rachel. What have you been doing, you know, to keep yourself occupied, to keep yourself out of trouble?
So I have to mention what me and Molly did together back in November.
Mhm.
So we went paintballing for the first time in our lives, and it was quite the experience. Everyone kept asking me if Molly was like a former Marine or something because she was a monster. She was incredible. It was so muddy, so much water, and like if you committed to go in a puddle, like you're going home with soggy shoes. We ended up throwing ours out at the end of the day. But Molly was like army crawling in it. She was shooting guys right in the forehead.
Oh man.
Accidentally.
She was incredible.
Accidentally.
She was unstoppable. Like she would just own it. We'd all get knocked out. It'd be 4v4 in some of the smaller matches, and it'd just be her versus 3, and she'd take them all out. It was
Really?
something I'd never seen before. Yeah,
Wow.
natural.
No,
Yeah.
and this was your first time?
It was it was my first time.
I've never paintballed. It looks like a good time. But I was always afraid of getting the welts. Is it
It hurt.
Yeah. Does it hurt?
It definitely hurt. That's why you have to like get your game face on and try not to get hit.
Yeah.
You were shooting
But
people in the
Rachel's being real
face?
nice.
We gotta
Great
wear a
class.
mask. You gotta wear a mask.
But Rach is being super nice because the very first match we played, I accidentally took her out. Like,
She
Shut
like
your own
missile
teammate.
fire. Didn't realize it was her. Just kept shooting her.
a lot. I was
Way
like,
too nice to me.
It was
I
like
was
out
oh
of a
no,
movie.
Rachel.
It was out of a movie. Like I was just shaking back and forth like a machine. Yep.
I felt that. I was like beast mode, and then I just see the blonde hair walk out. I was like, oh no.
You're like, my friend.
Friendly
no.
fire.
That's when I knew I always had to be on her team. Don't be on the opposite side of Molly.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Is paintballing hard? Like, or I mean, well, Molly, I guess it's for you. It's easy, but
Natural.
like, is it difficult?
I think your fight or flight senses kick in.
Yeah.
Like that's all I could say about it, because I don't think I had any method of going out there. I don't know. Did you, Rach?
No, but you do have to commit. Like you can't play scared or you're gonna walk off hurt. So you just have to
Oh,
go into like psycho mode and just keep pushing, you know? But then you're in closer range and the welts are a little bit worse. It's a battle.
And they'll push you closer too. And the first
Yeah.
thing, you know, you're hiding behind all these like barricades, and the first thing you have to put out to look is your eyes.
oh man.
You need like a periscope. That's what you really need.
Like, oh.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've got a buddy that's really into airsoft, which is like, you know, I mean, it's as simple as like a regular BB gun all the way up to actual firearms replica that
Oof.
it just shoots out these little biodegradable balls at like 350 feet per second. and like they get all decked out, and they have like these huge fields where they're like, you know, shipping containers and dumpsters and school buses. Like it's wild. Like dude, there's this one place they get like you can rent a helicopter
Oh,
there. Yeah, and like you can fucking snipe out of a helicopter.
Molly in there.
It's crazy, and I'm like, dude, how much is that? He's like, $200. I'm like, that's
Sending down.
sounds worth it, you know. It's one of those things where, you know, you find like you just scratch the surface, and there's, you know, a mile of how crazy you want to go with it. It's I don't know, DC. We might have to take a trek out to them, one of these paintball games one of these days.
well, I mean, I tell you what, you guys sent me that like video of you kind of it's like oscillating. You guys had your guns and stuff. I saw how hardcore you guys looked. I was like, I am not going out there with my little sisters. I'll get fucked up. It's like be jacked up.
That was so much fun.
It's worth it. Well, Rach is the real like badass of it. She still has battle wounds, and that was in November.
What? You still got wounds?
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
you're like medically disqualified right now, I'm sure.
Let me tell you a story. So there was a kid there with short sleeves. You
Yeah,
knew
rookie move. Even I know.
No.
he was on a whole, I don't know what, oh goodness. So short sleeves, and he had a backpack that everything shot out of. So I was like, ooh, I don't want to be on the opposite side of that kid. What's in that backpack? So he put like a plastic casing on one of his paintball pieces.
What?
I got shot by a plastic piece. So I
Oh,
still have a bruise from November. Brutal. Yeah.
was it like purposely done? Did he made like, how does
I
that
don't know,
happen?
but I ate it. I ate it.
Oh, man.
Somehow.
Jeez.
Jeez.
Yeah. So it's still there.
I
Brutal.
know people used to like freeze them, and that makes them like
Oh,
yeah, it makes them just like getting.
that's
hit
like rocks.
well, it's like you're getting hit with a gumball or something. It just doesn't
Evil.
explode.
forget it.
Yeah.
No
Forget it.
way.
Yeah, so I'm told. Wow. So paintball, pregnant. I mean, you've had a pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Fair
Oh, let me
warning
tell you
to
about
any
my
woman who
mom
comes on
car.
the Everyman podcast. This could be your future.
My mom car is going to be a 3.3 liter twin turbo beast. I just got a Kia Stinger GT2.
Did you?
Ew.
Yeah.
It's a beast.
Beast.
Molly took the test drive with me. She's always with me. See?
How was it? Was it cool?
Oh yeah,
Ugh.
What color?
absolutely.
I got ceramic gray with red interior.
Low
Mhm.
key, very fancy.
Ready
Yeah.
to be puked on by babies.
Oh, it's super sweet.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, dude.
Let me know how that works out for you. That's gonna be good. It's, at least you'll be fun. You know, you'll be flying.
Oh yeah, fun
That's
mom.
great. Yeah, you know,
Moving.
it's funny. Speaking of babies, this is interesting. So I made a comment to my father over the weekend about how, yeah, you know, probably, you know, I'm getting married in October, and I'm like, you know, the next
Yeah.
car I get is probably it's like a dad mobile. You know, like I got to get something with like that in mind that I can put like a car seat and shit. And I said the word stroller, right? I just said it out loud. I swear to you, on my Instagram the last 2 days, it's just like, it's weird because the pregnancy ads targeted towards women, and it's like, you know, this belly cream and like, you know, this fucking shoulder pillow and, you know, like strollers and weird like, you know, attachments that go onto strollers. And I'm like, what is how did I just said dad mobile, and next thing you know, you're like shoving this down my throat. Like it's really wild. And I'm like, I haven't Googled anything like, am I pregnant? And then I started freaking out like, maybe my fiance was using the iPad and maybe it's linked up. And then I'm like, no, I'm just crazy. It turns out it's just, I don't know what the hell's going on here. So
There's going to be paintball gear on there tomorrow. So.
Oh,
I know,
yeah.
right?
Probably.
Oh yeah.
Paintball gear, bulletproof, you know, paintball. Yeah, I don't know. It's you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful who comes on the Everyman podcast. The Cosmic Canoe is apparently far more powerful than I thought.
Mhm. Absolutely.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So what about you, Molly? What have you been up to besides shredding on the paintball field?
I just made the trip actually back down from New Jersey, Pennsylvania, back to Florida, is where I'm at, which is actually, speaking of doing things together, that's how Rach and I actually got as close as we did. Because when I first moved to film, this is, you know, offline, but this was like 2 years ago. But when I first moved to films, I left everything in St. Augustine and was said randomly in the office, didn't know anybody. Like, I'm about to make a 30-hour trip, like fly down Saturday and drive a 20-foot U-Haul back up all on the same day. And Rach was like, can I come? I'm like,
Oh,
are you sure? Like, we didn't really talk like that. But I was like, you sure? She was like, I mean, I didn't ask my husband yet, but yeah, can I go? And I immediately booked her flight, and we did so much in 30 hours and made a full trip.
that's so cool.
I miss that she wasn't there with me this weekend.
It was
But
wild.
Those road trips are that's how you kind of make those deep connections, and sometimes it's all it takes is just like a shared, it's like a shared trauma that brings you close together, even when you want to do
Besties.
something.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Flow
we had
on.
like cockroaches crawling us. I hope that you had such
What?
I did, right?
Yeah.
Waffle House in North
Cockroaches?
Carolina was
Mhm.
no.
Yeah, at a Waffle House, you say?
Yeah, we
There you
stopped.
go.
It
See,
was
there's
like-
your first problem right there. Waffle House is that's a gamble. It's risky. You don't know.
oh, it's
because-
definitely sketch.
But there's some, and I'm
Sus.
saying this in fairness, there are some Waffle Houses you come across where it's like, this is like Shangri-La, or it's just like it's like a palace in the desert. Like, it's just incredible.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get cockroaches, so it does not surprise me.
How did that happen? I'm curious now. Where did they come from? Were they in the establishment, or did it like come out of the food and you were like, uh-oh, what happened?
I think
I'm
we were
pretty sure when
crawling around the floor. Me and Molly were in booths across from each other, and I put my feet up on the other side of her booth, and she put her feet on mine, and we just continued to eat.
Oh,
we
oh,
made it work.
At least they didn't get in the car with you.
Yeah. Oh, maybe.
oh yeah. Oh man.
Wow,
Whoa.
That was a small cab. We would have.
that's a game.
That would
That's
have
a
been
game.
bad news.
Was the
Game
food still
changer.
good? I'm sure the food was still good, right?
I'm pretty sure that was at like 2 a.m. after like flying at 4 a.m. the day before. Like, it was
Delirious.
definitely.
This
it was
cockroaches,
definitely good.
they might have been. They could have been imaginary at that point. You never know.
Yeah.
Also factual, yeah.
That you've
I
been
won't put it past us.
been up for 30 hours. Who knows what's going on? You're just laughing at things.
Man.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time. So Daryl, how do you fit into this whole triumvirate here of excellence and loveliness?
Well, I have had the blessing of meeting both of my little sisters here at NFL Films, and I always look at it like this. I miss out because this glorious establishment just lets the best talent go, and you guys go and do fucking awesome shit elsewhere, which I'm super happy about, by the way. But yeah, I met both of my little sisters here at Films, and I'm super proud of them and pleased as punch that I want to be an uncle once here with Ray, and then you're coming right behind, Molly. You can keep looking away if you want. But if Ray gets a girl, you're getting a boy, and I'm getting the best of both worlds. So that's how it's gonna be. Yep.
I'm with it.
Geez. I mean, I'm not opposed. Just need a few years.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So now, while we may not have many Everywomen out there that listen to this podcast, we fully understand it's largely the Everyman out there that checks this out. But there are a few of the female variety out there, and I'm curious. And we'll start with you, Rachel, as somebody who kind of has bounced in and out of different roles at one organization, or just completely jumped ship and hopped in something new and given something new a try. What advice, generally speaking, might you have for a young professional Everywoman who's maybe not sure if they're spending their time the right way professionally, or they're not feeling fulfilled and they want more and they don't know how to do it? Because, there's only so much that maybe the Everyman can relate to. So coming from you, who's got experience in that, what would you say to to the Everywoman listening to this podcast about that?
What I would say is never change. Always be consistent. Trust yourself. Even if who you are isn't working with where you are, it doesn't mean it's wrong. You'll find a place that works out, and once you get there, you'll know exactly why things happen the way they did. I think being faced with all these obstacles and tough situations, and really wanting situations to work out and they don't, I think at the end of the day, they make you really strong compared to someone who just finds it and gets it right away. But yeah, as long as you're consistent and you can go to bed every night knowing that you put the work in and you're proud of yourself, you're going to crush it. You're going to get exhausted. But if you just stick with it, you'll find a way to make it work. And you'll be way more victorious than you would have been if it would have happened right away.
That's great advice for
Hell
anybody,
yeah.
you know?
Hell yeah.
And man, woman, or turtle, you know? That's awesome. That's awesome. What about you, Molly? Same long-winded question there for you.
Yeah, no, I totally am agreeing with her too, but I'd also don't be afraid to change and don't be afraid to jump cities. At one point, I think I was in 5 states, 7 cities in 16 months, just bouncing back to different opportunities of where I could find more experience. And that's how I landed eventually a full-time job. So it's definitely, don't be afraid to be yourself, like Rachel said, but don't be afraid to jump ship and go completely somewhere you might be afraid to do. Especially, and don't listen to other people when they tell you, oh, if you leave, you're going to fail, or you'll want to come back, or whatever negativity gets thrown your way. Just listen to yourself, listen to your own heart, follow your own gut. For
Again,
sure.
great advice. You know,
Oh yeah.
that's awesome. And you know, it's hard because, you know, growing up, you always heard, you know, we're all around the same age, and you always hear things like, you know, the companies were expecting loyalty, and people are spending 25, 30, 40 years at a company. And nowadays it's just not the case. And really, you know, in order to kind of progress in your own journey, you kind of have to get experience from a lot of different places and kind of just stay after it. So I know a lot of people, you know, young and old, are on that journey, and it's so cool to hear it, you know, from your guys' perspective, and knowing Daryl. Anytime Daryl says, hey, I know such and such, I think they'd be great on the pod, I'm just like, hey, if you say so, my bro, you know. And getting to connect with you guys is awesome. And Molly, I really appreciate your perspective on changing, you know, like, it's be yourself, but also be like, hey, I could be myself over here too, you know.
Absolutely.
That's
100%.
really
Absolutely.
that's really, you know, resonates with me, and I know with Daryl. So I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, of course. Plus, it's fun too. You meet so many new people that they're like, you have somewhere to go at any point. You know,
Yeah.
you meet so many people like just all over that. Then you come network for other people that might need that experience or might need that push to go somewhere too.
Right. Now you're now you're back in Florida. You know, Florida. I just realized I was thinking about Florida Flowrider, and it took me years before I put 2 and 2 together.
Oh, you know, you're not alone in that.
I was like, oh, okay, Flowrider. Because in my head, when I hear that, I'm thinking like Flow Rider, you know, and it's just shortened to Rider, you know. And then it wasn't until like it was like in the context of Miami, and I'm like,
Yeah. Put it there.
boom,
Put it there.
you know, wise, I got smart guy, smart guy. So you know, I don't know really what that has to do with anything.
But I appreciate it.
I know.
I
I
hope you're
understand it.
enjoying Florida and its many freedoms right now. My fiance and I are actually we're targeting Florida for our honeymoon. I think that's probably ideal because it's like, it appears to be, you know, American and free and open, and just, it's one of those crazy places where they're like, hey, listen, you do what you do, but just, we trust that you'll make a good decision for yourself.
Basically.
I can kind of
That's
resonate with that. I can
Yeah.
kind
That's
of
about
resonate with that.
exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Like, you can go out to restaurants here and everything and wear no mask, and then you're in a grocery store wearing a mask looking at someone else like, why are you not wearing a mask, even though you were just
Yep.
outside
Like you
at
feel
like
dirty.
some
Yeah.
club not wearing a mask. It's so wild here, which makes it so much.
Decisions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and we got to be
There's
careful
endless
now
opportunity.
because we're on YouTube. We cannot even say the word. We have to, these uncertain times, we have to refer to
Oh,
them. These are uncertain times, and we
damn
can't,
algorithms.
we can't really say why they're uncertain, but we can say that they are uncertain. So it's great to see
sure.
you enjoying it down there. I have a lot of friends that are traveling there, and I hear the same thing. And I'm working in logistics. I have a lot of customers in Florida, and you know, everybody like, hey, come on, man, come on down, let's do it. You know, so it's appealing. So that's good. Molly, I wish you the best. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm sure this won't be the last time you come on.
Nope.
Definitely won't be the
Hopefully
last
not.
time. Rachel, as always, it's always great to connect with you. Congratulations on
Thank you.
that little every baby that's coming soon. And I hope that the next time you're on the podcast, it will be the first time we have a baby live on the podcast.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Outside, out in the real world, babying it up. I can't wait to meet that little one. So thank you so much, and
Of course.
we'll catch you guys next time.
Thank you guys so much. This was so fun.